Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news. The NFL offseason is always a time full of rumors, speculations, and strategic moves. But this year, there's something particularly intriguing brewing around the Cleveland Browns. As fans, we know how critical the draft period is. It's where teams either solidify their future or miss out on opportunities that could define their seasons. And right now, there's buzz about the Browns having an eye on a potential quarterback prospect, Tyler Shough, whose name has been floating around NFL circles as a player worth watching, especially for teams looking to bolster their depth at the position. Now, I know what you're thinking. The Browns already have Deshaun Watson, a franchise QB, but the NFL is all about depth and competition. Plus, the depth at quarterback can be a game changer, especially in a league where injuries and unexpected setbacks are part of the game. What's fascinating about this is that the Browns haven't just been passively watching the draft. Reports suggest that Cleveland has shown some pre-draft interest in Shough, a talented quarterback who, despite some inconsistencies, has the raw skills and athletic ability to develop into a solid NFL starter. Shough's story is one of resilience. Coming out of Oregon, he showed flashes of brilliance, but also faced some hurdles with injuries and inconsistencies that caused his draft stock to fluctuate. But if there's one thing Browns fans know well, it's that the right coaching staff can unlock potential that others might overlook. Remember when Baker Mayfield was considered a mid-round pick, and look where he took us. Now, why would Cleveland be interested in Shough? Well, the Browns are at a point where they want to build a roster that can sustain success for years to come. Having a young quarterback in the pipeline, even as a backup, provides security. Look at the NFL's current landscape. Teams that neglect their QB depth often find themselves scrambling mid-season, especially if injuries strike or if a starter struggles. Shough's mobility, arm strength, and ability to make plays outside the pocket are appealing traits that could fit well in Cleveland's offensive scheme under Kevin Stefanski. Plus, he offers a different skill set compared to Watson, which could be valuable in certain game situations or as a developmental project behind the established star. But let's not forget, this is just the beginning of the process. The Browns are known for their thorough scouting and strategic moves. The fact that they've shown interest in Shough indicates they see some upside in him, and maybe they're thinking long-term. It's worth noting that Cleveland's current roster is pretty solid, with a strong core of players like Nick Chubb, Amari Cooper, and Denzel Ward. But the NFL is all about who can adapt and evolve. Having a promising young quarterback like Shough ready in the wings could be the difference in close games, especially when you consider how crucial backup QBs have been in recent seasons. Now, looking at Cleveland's draft strategy, they're in a position where they can be aggressive if they see value in certain prospects. The Browns are known for their smart, calculated approach, and adding a quarterback like Shough could be part of a broader plan. Whether they pick him in the later rounds or sign him as an undrafted free agent, it's clear that the organization is keeping options open. If they develop him properly, Shough could become a valuable asset, either as a reliable backup or even as a future starter if things break right. This kind of strategic depth building is exactly what separates good teams from great ones. Cleveland has been building a roster with a focus on both talent and versatility, and a quarterback competition can push everyone to perform at their best. Plus, in a division like the AFC North, where physicality and resilience are key, having multiple options at QB can be a huge advantage. We saw in recent seasons how unpredictable the quarterback position can be: injuries, slumps, or sudden breakthroughs. Browns fans are used to roller coaster seasons, but the goal is always to stay ahead of the curve and be ready for whatever comes next. And speaking of the division, the AFC North is shaping up to be one of the most competitive divisions in football. The Bengals are coming off a Super Bowl appearance, the Ravens are always tough, and the Steelers are rebuilding but still dangerous. Cleveland's focus on strengthening their roster, including potentially adding a quarterback like Shough, signals that they're not just happy with being a middling team anymore. They want to contend, They want a challenge for a division title, and most importantly, they want to be in the postseason conversation year after year. The Browns' recent history has been a mixture of promise and disappointment, but with the leadership of GM Andrew Berry and head coach Kevin Stefanski, the team has been making smart moves. They've invested heavily in their offensive line, acquired key playmakers on both sides of the ball, and now, it seems, they're also thinking ahead at quarterback depth. The importance of having a young, developing QB like Show cannot be overstated in today's NFL. It offers flexibility and security, especially when trying to navigate a tough schedule and the physical demands of the league. Now, let's talk about the current season and what it means for Cleveland. The Browns are entering a critical year, with expectations high after their playoff appearance last season. Fans are hungry for consistent success and a real shot at making a deep playoff run. The AFC North is no longer just a tough division. It's a brutal division filled with teams that are all fighting for supremacy. Cleveland's roster is talented enough to compete, and the addition of a promising quarterback prospect could be the missing piece to push them over the top. Looking back at recent drafts, Cleveland has shown a willingness to take calculated risks and develop talent from within. Whether it's players like Denzel Ward or Nick Chubb, or strategic picks on the offensive line, the organization understands that building a winning team is about patience, development, and smart investments. If they do decide to bring Show into the fold, it will likely be as a developmental project, but one with potential to grow into a key player down the line. We've seen how important it is to have a backup who can step in and perform without missing a beat, and Cleveland has experienced firsthand how vital this is after past seasons. In the grand scheme of things, the NFL draft and offseason moves are all about setting up for sustained success. Cleveland's management seems to be aware of this, and their interest in Tyler Show fits perfectly into that mindset. It's about building depth at critical positions, preparing for future challenges, and giving themselves every advantage possible. Browns fans should be excited about the direction the team is heading, especially when it comes to the quarterback room, which might just see some fresh blood coming in soon. As we look ahead to the upcoming season, the excitement is palpable. The Browns have a talented roster, a dedicated fan base, and a front office that's clearly thinking long-term. Whether Show becomes part of that future or not, the message is clear. Cleveland is serious about contending. They're not just playing for this year, but for many seasons to come. The AFC North is about to get even more competitive, and the Browns are positioning themselves to be at the forefront of that battle. So, Browns fans, keep your eyes peeled, stay tuned for updates, and get ready for an exciting ride. The offseason is where champions are made, and Cleveland is working hard to make sure they're ready when the games matter most. The search for the next great quarterback might be ongoing, but one thing is for sure: Cleveland isn't sitting on their hands. They're building, developing, and strategizing, all with the goal of bringing another Super Bowl to the city of Cleveland. The future looks bright, and we're all here for the ride. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. Do you believe Show could be a future star? Or do you think the Browns should focus elsewhere in the draft? Whatever your thoughts, make sure to share them. Your voice is part of the Browns family. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. The offseason is just heating up and the best is yet to come.